Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to one of the most unique forms of entertainment available on this or any other realm. Welcome back to The Lost. I don't know what we're doing, but we're doing it here today for you.
I know what we're doing, and I think it's a bad idea.
This is kind of one of those bucket list things. It's done out of a sense of obligation. Today, we are going to be watching Mortal Kombat Aftermath Story Mode. Let that sink in.
This is a commentary track.
It's a commentary track, but, well, you see, I've done things to it.
Yeah, Shad has inserted some footage, I don't know what, I haven't seen it. But, he spiced things up to alleviate some of the, suffering we're about to put ourselves through.
Little bit unpleasant. Just a little bit.
Yeah, just to preface, if anyone doesn't know or doesn't recall, we're not a fan of certain parts of Aftermath.
We do like some parts. Some parts are quite nice, and we're going to comment on those. This is not a shitfest. This is somewhere halfway between a commentary track and YouTube poop. Not all the way through, but you'll see. I did some things.
So before we start, I have to say my overall stance on Aftermath is as good as Fujin and Shang Tsung having story parts is, I don't believe it was worth it. I mean, besides what it does to Sindel, it kind of ruins the good end of MK11 Vanilla.
It's really painful if you just stop to think about what happens to all the characters.
Yeah.
And then the ultimate resolution is, it doesn't matter anyway. None of this actually happened.
I'll try to articulate some specifics as we go. I mean, it's like, as good as Fujin is, he would have been just as good as just a DLC character. We get him playable, he's got intros. He didn't need a chapter in a story mode shoved in after that retcons the end of the story mode.
Alright, so let's get to it. Remember, some of what you're about to see is entirely my fault. I accept all responsibility, blame, but I'm not liable to lawsuits. Most of the pain you feel will probably be the result of what NRS has decided to do. So, that said, 3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, so there's a quote-unquote hourglass. And, we're reliving Liu Kang, doing physical damage to someone who's supposed to be more powerful than an Elder God.
I choose not to speculate on her existence. I choose to ignore it.
So the Elder Gods can't die, but the Titans, who are supposed to be more powerful, can.
Don't you know she's made of sand?
Right. No, I get it.
It's like Laszlo was saying in GTA's audio.
Sand turns to glass. I get it. It's just... That's not more powerful than an Elder God, is it?
You know what's more powerful than an Elder God? Abject fucking horror.
There's the fucking pupils in his eyes.
It's never gonna look right, no matter what.
You know, I thought it wasn't so bad in Battle of the Realms. I think what doesn't help is that the NRS Raiden has a chubby face.
You think that's it?
I think it doesn't help. Like, I've always said, part of the problem is that his head looks weird in the cowl. If you're gonna show him with eyes, have his hair out, and it'll probably fix it.
Let us begin.
It's a combination of things.
It is.
The fact that Raiden used to be kind of designed around having his entire face and his features in shadow.
Yeah.
And the cowl was always there, yeah, but it was just much less visible and much... in the original graphics, kind of
I think
offset.
The cowl looked better on his head when he was not thin, but thinner than his... Epcar Raiden has a fat head. That's where I'm going with this.
It's not Epcar's fault.
No, it's not like Epcar was the face model. I'm just saying. NRS era Raiden has a fat fucking head.
It is true.
You know what I will say? I am immeasurably glad that the skin they went with for story mode Nightwolf was not the primary.
Oh, they just straight up chose to ignore that thing that they pulled on the main roster.
They knew what they were doing.
It is a great decision. He looks so much better like this.
The hourglass will shatter. All realms will be.
You know what's nice?
What's nice?
Kerry Tagawa with a mustache.
Right? You know,
I'm a big fan.
I really do love the way that both Fujin and Shang look in this game.
Yeah, I got it. They did a good job with him.
The only thing
I do wish young Shang had facial hair.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only thing he's missing. If he had that, it'd be just perfection.
Because, like, if you're gonna do a movie skin anyway, just have him not have a goatee in that skin, and then the others should look like classic Shang.
Yeah.
We were powerless to intervene.
So they were shunted off to non-space. That's why they weren't in the original.
seal was broken open.
So,
Escape via the hour.
the void that they were sent to, I forget if it was Kittleson or Ciancholo said on Twitter, it's the void as in the one mentioned in Deception that the Elder Gods live in? Wouldn't the Elder Gods have noticed that?
They don't care? Question mark?
You can send travelers back.
People in our house, they're just ants, just fleas.
I must return to the moment before Kronika's defeat. End that battle differently, so that
especially at the point where the Elder Gods were being attacked and killed off screen, wouldn't they have maybe, hey, mortals, over here, help!
I don't know, maybe they're too busy running around on fire to enlist the aid of the microbes in their building. Who fucking knows? I make it a point to try to not think about it too hard.
Island before Kronika sends Cetrion to claim it.
God, his delivery is magnificent though, isn't it?
Lord Raiden, and together
So they can't
Kronika,
return history to the way it was, but they can
history
teleport people to history the way it was.
Don't think about it. You'll give yourself an aneurysm.
The whole premise of this DLC violates the main plot of the game.
Be entertained by the moving pictures. It's for the best.
I swear, Kerry Tagawa is like keys being dangled in our faces.
Fire against Kronika. Did her promises of grandeur not suit
So yes, I've included a smug counter.
me to be a pawn.
It's not the entire way through, because,
Sculpted my entire
well,
existence to
it would kind of prove annoying having dings every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Just key moments.
was served
He's so belovedly smug in this entire thing.
into the void.
your grievance does not fool me, Shang Tsung.
So here's another detail revealed on Twitter as opposed to in the game. You might ask, why is Shang Tsung alive? Because he died in MK9 and didn't come back.
Yes.
And the answer to that is that Kronika pulled him from the past, like she did all the other characters she pulled from the past, which raises another question. Every single other character that she got from the past came from the end of MK2. They're all from the same moment. So why is Shang an old man? There's no fucking answer to that question.
I've stopped looking.
I think one of them on Twitter just... One of them just shrugged and went, she took him from earlier. Why only him, then?
Now imagine if Melina was in this shit.
I will join you.
According to her fucking bio, she is. Somewhere off screen, Melina came back, too.
Fujin and Nightwolf.
Just like Triborg, the joys of DLC that pretends to be canon, but clearly fucking isn't.
You know, I mean, not to wax about Triborg, but you know what? My perspective is just, if it doesn't really interfere with anything, fucking who cares? These are things that used to bother me, now they just don't.
Confidence is inspiring.
I don't hold the storyline to the same level of perfection.
Well, no, you can't anymore.
It's a
That's-
fool's errand.
Great Spirit protect us.
I just enjoy catching them with their pants down at this point. Every little thing they do wrong lets me twist the knife a bit more.
I'm not that petty. Plus, I have first-hand knowledge that game development is literally a bunch of people walking around an office with their pants around their ankles. I've seen it.
Yeah, that's
true.
You know what? That's what really bothers me about the writing in video games is that they don't get professional writers. It's written by the devs, whose training is in making video games.
All realms will tremble before me. Outworld will again be conquerors. Never the conquered.
I'm nauseous.
What a dynamic camera move.
All those easily entertained motherfuckers out there.
You know, Kevin Smith can do a 360. Notoriously bad by his own admission at cinematography. He could still put a 360 shot in Clerks 2 and call it impressive.
Ding dong, Avon lady. I want to point something out. There are moments like that where Jade's head and expression just look fucking weird. Just these big googly eyes.
I like how the camera cuts to Aaron Black just to remind you that yes, there were two versions of him in this game, in case you forgot, because present Aaron shows up nowhere until Aftermath.
It's nice that they remembered. I missed him. I love how almost nobody notices or remarks on the fact that 3 people just showed up in the middle of a huge arena
Nobody,
out of a
only
sandstorm.
one character in this entire arena noticed the fucking giant tornado of sand.
And that's Collector. Apparently the only person with any sense of awareness.
It's much later than
Flip.
that. This is Kitana's battle with Shao Kahn.
Then we're almost out of time. We must escape quickly.
Yeah, time's kind of a loose commodity in this storyline.
Claim the crown earlier than expected.
And guarantee our failure.
Let's go.
Not conspicuous
Nobody
in the least.
notices.
Conspicuous. We're fine, we're good. Why doesn't Shang turn into something that isn't one of Outworld's most wanted?
Imagine
this.
Shang remembering he can shapeshift. Imagine.
He does it later on, but why not now? Nope. Fuck you, buddy. I really like that moment. Collector gets too much shit. He's fun.
Yeah,
I love
it
him a
is
lot.
nice when Collector gets, like, baseline competence.
Yeah.
I like the character. There are a lot of people who don't, and I think that's unfair.
I think it's the Ferritor problem. Interesting concept, neat design, completely uninteresting moveset.
Yeah. The moveset does have a lot to do with it. But I don't know, I see people putting Collector on, like, their bottom 5, and I'm like, really? You think he's worse than, like, Darius and Dairu?
God, no.
We escaped the battle undetected.
Almost.
Shang Tsung. Or not. Where have you been hiding? You consort with Earthrealmers now.
His business is none of yours, Collector.
My beast
Just sitting there in their battle stances.
Shao Kahn once. He will pay handsomely for you.
That's 2.
You're outnumbered, Collector.
Am I?
You know what I said before about not thinking this whole mode was worth it for what it did to the ending of Vanilla?
Yeah.
Because my preference is for the good ending, where you beat Chronica in 2 rounds, and it's Liu Kang and Kitana at the end. That's my preference.
Yeah.
He shares our
It's
soul. Chronica's
almost worth it just for Kerry Tagawa.
Thank you.
he was a saving grace and helped me to enjoy what I could from this for all the time I spent rewatching it for this
Like,
day. Him and Fujin, man, they make this entire thing.
yeah, I wish that, like, Carrie would become the regular Shang instead of a stunt casting.
And that's 3.
Because it feels like this was a one-time deal, and we're never gonna get Carrie as Shang again, so we better enjoy it while it's here.
Go then skip.
Come, let us leave while the crowd is distracted.
It would be nice, but no, I'm not counting on it.
Yeah.
And as I said with many other voice actors, like Raiden's, for example, if they brought in the dude from Scorpion's Revenge and Battle of the Realms, I would not be disappointed.
He was not bad. He was not bad. I like him.
I don't think Shang's actually ever had bad voice actor.
Oh, versus DC, my friend.
Oh, it's been so many years, I have to go back and expose myself to that, I'm afraid.
What's funny to me is that the guy who played Shang in MK vs. DC was, do you remember the old TV show Heroes?
Hang on. Wait for it.
Sindel's a revenant.
So on Heroes, there was, like, the chubby Asian guy who had time travel powers, and he had, like, a salaryman sidekick.
I sort of vaguely remember that.
Okay, the sidekick voiced Shang in versus DC.
Huh.
So he was a legitimate Asian man, but he sounded like he was a white guy doing an Asian voice.
Distant memories vaguely resurfacing and repressed. I'm good.
Heroic self.
The Sindel I knew wiped out most of Earthrealm's champions in a single battle. If Nightwolf hadn't sacrificed himself, she would have killed them all.
That
Must be weird to hear about a version of yourself that committed suicide.
Yeah. So here's another plot problem right here, is that the reason Sindel was so powerful in 9 was because Khan had killed Shang and given her all of his stolen souls to juice her up.
Right, she ate him.
She's not naturally that powerful.
No.
Outworld soul chamber.
In fact, here's a pet peeve of mine. The entire NRS timeline generally portrays Sindel as a sorceress.
Want him to betrayal sorcerer.
In my personal opinion, Sindel should not have been knowledgeable in magic before she killed herself.
To acquire the Jinja.
Like, when Shujinko meets her in Deception, she teaches him how to fight like an Edenian knight and knights him. I always thought between that and the fact that she uses a spear, she was a knight herself, like, before she married Jared. Which is a melee combat role, not a wizard.
Shang Tsung.
All of her magic special moves were supposed to make her look like a banshee, which is a kind of undead, so she shouldn't have had the ability to, like, fly and scream and stuff, shoot fireballs out of her mouth, until she was brought back in MK3. Those should all be new powers for her.
The way I've always looked at it is that, you know, if your color scheme is predominantly purple and black and you've got the glowing white eyes,
Yeah,
typically...
but she had glowing eyes because she was dead.
Yeah, that's it. Like the Brotherhood of the Shadow. If you've got that kind of color scheme going on, you've been resurrected to, you know, serve in Quan Chi's little band of dead dudes.
Your aid is not required.
What are we right now? We're at like 8?
We're at, well, the counter said Armageddon, which was MK7,
Seven.
so we're up to 7.
See, it's always a lose track. But yeah, no. Sindel shouldn't have had those powers till after she died.
Yeah. Yeah, Sindel was not, like, an incredibly powerful wizard.
No!
There-
Not the descendant of
Crypt guy.
Apath! No!
Excellent.
Well, maybe he should stop trying to steal things from places where people still live.
Look, I just pity the guy.
What kind of jerk breaks into the Shaolin Temple?
A jerk with 50,000 meteorite shards in his pocket? 20,000 broken Taven swords?
You know, the last guy who did that ended up dead, too.
Nightwolf, Shang Tsung, come.
And he had Lin Kuei training.
Question you.
No fucks given. Just none. God, they really did make this fight scene look pretty cool.
Yeah, this is the best animated cutscene in the whole thing.
There's a scene later on where there's just a bunch of demons fighting G.I. Joes, and it just doesn't have any of the immediacy of a scene like this, you know? This is fun to behold, just watching him dodge with his hands behind his back like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And this shit right here.
The lava hands. That's pretty sick, actually, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Where's Fujin? Where did Fujin go?
I don't know. Did you notice how that Cyber Ninja was full of, like, organic components inside when, you know...
Yeah, yeah. Which is...
Is it just the brain, or what is it?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is it?
In the other cutscenes, the Cyber Ninja is a full robot, and only the, like, skull and spine of a human is in there, but... Whenever we need to see their insides during a fight, like an X-ray, suddenly they're fully human in an armor.
I should say that the audio at this point kind of gets pretty quiet. It's part of the source of the video that Brusk gave me. So, while I'm here, thank you very much for that, Brusk. It's much appreciated. Shout out. It'll level out momentarily. But you know what? As far as the Cyber Ninjas go, you know what I think's actually in there?
What's that?
Noodles.
Noodles?
Noodles. Craft dinner. What's inside a Hot Pocket? Some pocket lint. Who fucking knows, man? Car battery. How many different versions of it have we had?
You know, on one hand, I appreciate them homaging the Deception opening here. But on the other, it feels kind of artificial to use it to hype up Geras, because he should be no way close to as powerful as Onaga was.
I tend to see it as a nod. I'm not gonna read into it that much.
Fair enough.
You know what? I know a lot of people out there don't like Geras. I'm okay with him. His design is kind of, you know, Apple technology friendly, but less offensive than Chronica is. But they gave him some really cool stuff to work with. I think Geras gets a bit too much hate.
I don't have a problem with Geras outside of the fact that he's inherently connected to Chronica. But I do think that he's kinda bland. And so whenever they give him the big hype-up moment, it feels artificial, like a John Cena push.
Yeah, I can see that. You know what, though? You give him a bit of a redesign. I'd take him as a secret character in future games. Just someone just popping through time. Who fucking cares why he's there? Just fight him.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel... See, another problem I have with Geras is I feel that any role that he could have outside of Chronica, where he's just this immortal guy, like the Watcher or the Silver Surfer, who sort of roams through history and watches and chronicles it, but doesn't do anything else. There was a character who already did that, and his name was Blaze.
Yes, I miss him too.
As a minor side note, I'm not a fan of the fact that in all the cutscenes, Nightwolf, his axes have a blue glow instead of a green glow.
Did you send him?
And some of his win poses, too.
I get where you're coming from. On the one hand, it bothers me too, but you know, by the same token, he was summoning lightning through it in MK3 fatalities. That's a minor nitpick for me. I don't care that much.
I don't know, it just doesn't feel right, that's all.
And now, wanton violence.
Hey man, fuck you, man.
Hey, since we're getting to see where all the other Revenants are that weren't in the vanilla story mode, where the fuck is Stryker?
Not entirely unexpected.
I believe it was alluded to that Raiden took a couple of them out.
Okay, so just
my running assumption is that Smoke and Striker are both dead.
fucking would have been nice to see that.
It's always nice to see Smoke, but this would just be me seeing Smoke suffering. I think I've had my fill of it.
I guess.
Great Spirit,
What is it?
my Revenant.
Is this the only time anyone ever actually exhibits a spider sense of sorts for the Revenant?
Spirit cannot
Yeah, and I imagine it has something to do with the fact that they're sharing the shaman connection.
Okay, I'll give it that.
The powers from the Great Spirit or whatever, the new lore they made up for Nightwolf. Here's my question: why, if Nightwolf's powers are a gift from this spirit goddess character, why does the Revenant get to keep them? Why is she empowering an evil undead?
Bone Temple.
Don't ask questions. Just enjoy the pretty pictures.
So here's the funny thing is that MKX thought of a solution for this already, and 11 ignores it.
Nightwolf. Shang Tsung.
Dr. Scott!
Janet! Nightwolf. Shang Tsung.
Rucker!
Where are we?
Nice. So at MKX, Nightwolf and Liu Kang, their revenants, when they use their powers, summon like red and black versions of all of their energy attacks.
Not go unavenged.
To imply that because their powers when they were alive came from, being holy and shit, that they would need some unholy replacement powers when they became revenants. And Quan Chi thought of that.
Sindel.
And then in 11, they just have their normal moves again.
You're looking for consistency, and it's a mistake.
Karma, Shang Tsung.
I know.
I will enjoy
I know.
defeating Lord Shinnok
Here it comes.
soul.
See, why is that knife blue?
Magic shaman powers.
Which of suffering most?
But it was green in other games.
Colors are pretty.
Hopefully we will today.
Green is a prettier color than blue, I'm sorry.
I don't mind so much that Nightwolf doesn't really have the green. It's, green kind of implies soul powers to me, more than anything else.
Right, and he gets his power
Wait,
from
hang
the...
on. Was that an Annihilation reference? The pointing? You will die? That's not just me who saw that, right?
It could be.
But anyway. The green shadows have always kind of implied the use of soul energy to me. I don't actually mind all that much that if they want to replace Nightwolves with a different color, it's fine.
There are fates worse than
Well, here's the thing. Spirits are souls.
I can imagine few.
Anybody who gets their powers from the spirit realm or the spirits of their ancestors, or... It should be green!
I don't know, man. I mean, if it were up to me, Johnny Cage's shadow kick would actually be back to being black shadows. I always felt like green implies burning souls for energy. He's using blue now. I don't care.
Well, it didn't used to.
Things change. Some things bother me, sure. Things like that. Not anymore.
I just would prefer that the changes make sense, that's all.
Just do what NRS does and come up with some sort of bullshit explanation.
Yeah, but those aren't always good.
Speaking of which, what is he fucking talking about?
Kronika has no love for our people
Oh, who fucking knows?
who allowed us to suffer. Kronika is
That fraud you don't believe in lets you keep your fucking magic, bro. You can still do the things.
Do they have to get all nihilistic just because they're Revenants? Is that what the mind control does?
can restore him.
I think that's exactly what the mind control does.
I guess. They are twisted into worshipping Shinnok now.
Sorcerer, I'll
No, Nightwolf. Shang Tsung
Words that nobody anywhere has ever said ever. It is cool to see him actually suck out someone's soul. He doesn't get to do it for all that, you know. We associate him with it. You don't actually get to see it happen all that much.
I also appreciate that they bothered to animate the model getting all withered and shit, because a lot of games they don't.
Happy now? I am healthy, Nightwolf. That should be your concern.
Both of you, please. We must make haste to the Soul Chamber.
Then let us hurry. And hope Sheeva is as eager to aid us as I anticipate.
You know, John Tobias said that he thought that Sheeva was never better than she was in this game. And in terms of personality, if not necessarily her visual design, I'm inclined to agree.
I mean, there's not really a contest. This is the only game where she really gets, like, screen time in a story.
But I do think that they nailed her personality, though. It is good.
Sure.
The look on her face there is wonderful. They really drive home the connection between her and Sindel. We get a bit more than her just, like, you know, being her bodyguard. This makes it seem like they have more of a history together. The loyalty.
It's a curious connection because, obviously in MK3, Sheeva was Sindel's bodyguard during MK3. But in 9 and 11, they give the backstory that Sheeva was Sindel's bodyguard back before she killed herself. Which raises Sheeva's age into question, because Goro's only 2000. And I would presume Sheeva would be younger than Goro, because Goro is the bigger deal with more history behind him and shit.
Actually, a few times in this very story, they fuck up.
Oh,
They
yeah.
seem to try to imply that Sindel died 1,000 years ago and not 10. There's a few references to it.
I think they're trying to retcon it. Like, one of them decided, oh, Katana being 10,000 is too much. It should be only 1,000.
Yeah, fuck that.
Which, it's way too late in the game to do that, man. Katana has had her age stated in major motion pictures and video games and comic books and TV shows for 30 years.
Being 10,000 years old is kind of her defining characteristic, guys.
Yeah.
Not the kind of thing you can really fuck with.
It's gonna go over about as well as making her blonde would, you know? People know who Katana is. It's too late.
Now and beg Katana's forgiveness.
I love how fucking unrepentant Shang is. I made an evil clone. It was good work.
I spent a lot of time on the evil clone.
From Katana, I betray my oath to her.
It's odd that he's proud of Melina, considering that she was deemed a failure in the old timeline.
You will be recognized by Katana's Imperial Guard.
True. They won't take to me kindly.
Gee, I wonder why.
Here you go.
That will
Hey, he remembered he could do that.
I wonder how people would feel if Shang actually started morphing back and forth into all the characters these days and lost all of the unique stuff he's gotten over the ages. I actually don't think it would go over very well now.
we've made it this far.
I don't see any reason why he couldn't keep all the different ways to do skulls and steal souls in his moveset and still morph.
I love how all of Aaron's stories are cowboy themed. It doesn't matter where he is, doesn't matter what he's doing, what realm he's hanging out in. He had guns, they were in an outhouse. They probably just came out of a saloon.
They really leaned hard on the cliches with his cowboy side this time around.
I don't object. I do love Aaron. More of this game making Baraka the shit.
It is the Khan's
It is a nice change of pace. I've always said my favorite thing about 11 is that it made Baraka more than
Yeah.
reptile.
Look at
more
this.
than a
She
job.
walks right up to him. You don't smell right.
You are not Shoka.
I've smelled everyone in the palace.
Smells like Shang Tsung.
Yeah, no love lost there.
You know, being lifted up by a stab wound like that has gotta hurt really, really bad.
Oh, yeah.
How's that for strange bedfellows?
And once again, I have to point out, shame about Aaron, his present-day self not getting any screen time at all in vanilla.
This is a nice little,
no time for chat. We must
what's the word I'm looking for?
chamber urgently.
Compromise, yeah. This is a nice little compromise.
I suppose.
Better late than never, I guess.
If I was, from a cynical point of view, you'd go that it's an attempt at damage control or to fix the mistake. But the truth is that Aftermath was written at the same time main story mode was.
Oh, see, I love this. I love this moment. Shang.
Everyone else is like, oh no, and Shang is just smiling.
My sincere
Wonderful smug bastard.
Hey, the cowboy versus the Indian.
Oh god, they
had to
really
happen at
they really did do that, didn't they?
Yeah. It had to happen at some point.
Oof.
Are all mouth and no ears.
You know, it sure is lucky that none of the named characters fell in the acid.
It'll happen one day, I'm sure. They do love bringing this stage back, it's one of their go-tos.
It is. It is.
Empress Sindel, we can restore her with the soul chamber.
Hold up, Sheeva. You're resurrecting Kitana's evil mama.
I wonder which stage they've brought back the most. I would bet it's a contest between the Pit 2 and the Living Forest at this point.
It's between
Soul Chamber might be in there.
Courtyard, Pit/Pit 2, Soul Chamber, or Deadpool. Easy. You see them all the time.
Shang Tsung, I thought I saw you slither away from the Colosseum.
You always
I don't know. The reason I suspect the Living Forest might have the edge is because it was in 4 and most of the others weren't.
This is Sindel's
It even shows up in Deception after a fashion, sort of.
restore her to life, so she can join the fight against Kronos.
Well, I think it's playable too. It's not just part of the conquest map.
I think it's one of the training stages.
Even if you do, the soul chamber is occupied.
Deception had...
Mend is broken.
It brought back the Deadpool, and it brought back that square version of the Pit 1.
Yeah.
we will not disturb him.
I think it's outside of the Living Forest in a distance, and there's like this overwhelmingly purple atmosphere to it. If I'm remembering right.
So much for Adenian loyalty.
Bunch of disloyal motherfuckers in this series trying to be loyal to each other. It's painful to watch.
It really is a shame that we didn't get the other stages that had showed up in the big raid and flashback thing, like the subway
Yeah.
or a playable warrior shrine.
I was crossing my fingers for Argus's Pyramid. That would have been so nice. Always love that stage.
Do we wait, or do we wake him?
Kotal.
Fuck it. He doesn't need to walk.
Okay, Ermac resting in the soul chamber I can theoretically understand. Are souls just innately healing?
Yeah, the fact that the soul chamber is like some kind of healing tube now came out of nowhere.
The Soul Chamber. It's a series of tubes.
For now, we must.
I recall my captivity in your flesh pits. All too
See? We've mentioned it in the game now. Now it's canon, right?
They mentioned it in vanilla, doesn't make it true.
I don't care anymore. If they have to give him a reason he wasn't around in the original games,
I
so
care
be it.
because it was
Still wasn't around. It's all that matters.
He was around. It's how he met Reptile. It mattered to X.
Wasn't the flesh pit thing supposed to be the excuse for why he wasn't around in the original games? Who knows? Necromancy is forbidden in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, necromancy is forbidden in Shao Kahn's empire, which does necromancy all the time. Isn't getting healed by souls necromancy?
You can't fucking turn over a rock without finding a necromancer in this universe.
No, the soul chamber is inherently necromancy.
It really is.
Fujin, just take the top off with your hands.
No! You gotta do it all cool! In fairness, it is cool, but my god, this is inefficient.
Yeah, it's taking forever.
Why bodily move her there, past the struggling half-crippled guy, when you can gently push her? Gently, oh so gently. Shang being a very big help. Here we go.
So what's about to happen here? Why didn't Raiden think of it when he was all like, no, without Quan Chi we can't fix them in the last game?
I think we've established NRS timeline Raiden's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Clearly.
Your justice is like your back. Weak.
You know, maybe constantly reminding Shokans of what you did to Goro isn't the best way to not get your shit pushed in.
Sleep, fake Emperor. Just sleep now. No tears, only dreams.
They never seem scared when you remind them. They all just get pissed off.
Bad strategy.
Hold your tongue. Jade told me everything. Nothing good can come from that sorcerer's hands.
He will restore your mother, Kitana Khan.
One thing I really love about this storyline is that it's just rife with people saying, Shang Tsung is a very bad person, don't trust him, it's always a mistake. And yet they still did find reasons to have people buy into his bullshit by preying on their vulnerabilities. It's good.
I have been bound to your mother for millennia.
Yeah, I can appreciate it. So, this is in fact the most resurrected that Sindel ever is. Like, the character model she's about to transform into, which by the way includes different clothes.
Clothes be!
It has pupils in her eyes, and I believe the black streak in her hair goes away. So, yeah, she really shouldn't be able to do the Banshee scream anymore.
The Banshee is only there because it looks cool. Obligatory Frankenstein quote.
But, you know, it's like when they brought Scorpion back to life in the last game, and he got to keep his fire powers, even though the whole reason he had fire powers was because he was undead. Fuck it. We gotta keep their moves. It's a fighting game. People want to recognize how they play. Although, they never keep their normals the same from game to game.
It's just a tournament fighter now, dude. It's all it is. It's got a Michael Bay movie.
It is, Lady Sindel. A miracle we could not have achieved without your most loyal subject.
Sheeva?
Empress, though today I have aided you, too often have I failed to protect you. I am not worthy.
Oh, nonsense. Today, you give me the greatest gift. A second chance. Your duty is fulfilled. I am in your debt now.
Thank you, Empress.
Where is my daughter?
What a touching reunion.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame she's only pretending.
It is me, Katana.
Pretending, huh?
If any of this was sincere, this would be a good scene.
Feel joy.
Pretending?
All I feel is
I don't know what you're talking about.
be a child when you.
This is clearly Sindel.
How could you kill yourself?
So I was only a child when you killed yourself. Also, you only killed
I
yourself.
was driven mad when Shao Kahn killed your father and stole you away, replied Sindel. I thought I had lost everything. I wish I had been there for you. I am so sorry, she continued. If anyone told you anything else, they are bad people skewing events to suit their own agendas. And then they hugged and everything was okay. See?
That is a better story. I like that. Wait a second. Oh, that's right. She always has the black streak in the back. You can only alter the front of her hair with the gear.
To finish our quest.
I would go with you, fight by your side, but Outworld needs its Khan. I know. Rest assured, Katana, I will come home.
Was gear worth it? Do you think gear was worth it?
No, not for all the problems it caused.
I agree.
And I only need to say one word. Cabal.
Shang Tsung would only
Right?
task if her aid promised a decisive advantage. She is but one mortal, and one of the few who can harm you. I fear.
Okay, but why though?
Somehow I have more of an urge to go pee watching these two than I have at any point prior.
Time for preparation is over.
You know, her gold fingertips still bother me.
It's
We cannot win their hearts, so
it's certainly a choice.
do not permit
It's not one I would have made.
me to compromise you.
I understand.
But then I also wouldn't have made her bald with some kind of metal yarmulke. Okay, so what does this form represent? Is she more powerful when she looks evil? What is
I
the point?
don't know, dude. There's no explanation for it. It's just there to look cool. Don't. You have to let go. Let go. Stop looking for answers. They're not here anymore. In the old days, things had reasons. We're not in those days anymore.
They couldn't go on
Like this, for example. These guys were never adherents to Shang Tsung.
by that.
No, the whole point of the audience in the courtyard was that it was the Shaolin monks had come to watch the tournament. And then they went home with Liu at the end.
Despair drives people to do horrible things, said Sindel. Read the room, you moralizing asshole. It really does make me uncomfortable, them using this bit to just subtly imply that suicide is bad and morally wrong. Like, art, games included, is a platform for self-expression, but using these characters to do it?
Yeah.
But this just felt soapboxy and oh so tacky. Just really, really tacky.
That did really bother me when Dominic got on Twitter and started defending why they retconned Sindel, and he started like moralizing about how her previous story made her look like a worse person, while he's making her an actual bad guy.
He literally did not understand the fact that she was driven to madness. It's not that hard.
Yeah, first of all, I inherently disagree with the suicide is the coward's way out. There's nothing, you know, like, have some fucking sympathy, Jesus Christ. And second, a video game about Kung Fu is not the fucking place for this conversation, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's just...
Get your head out your ass and get your body out of Chicago. I don't want you working on Mortal Kombat anymore.
This is nice, at least. I like him dodging the shit, all Matrix style. He said the thing!
If I was to make some kind of, like, ranking of all the things, like a top 10 things I like about MK11. I think number 1 is that Fujin still has the crossbow.
Yeah.
I've always been terrified that they bring him back and just throw the crossbow away, because that was my favorite part of his moveset in 4.
I must ask, sorcerer.
I always figured if they were gonna bring the thing back, the crossbow, that they wouldn't be doing the, you know, gigantic green bouncy eggs. I'm glad he kept it.
We will be ready.
He does still have the diagonal bouncing shots in his gear, in his moves.
Hey look, Goro's still back there, he's still dead, and absolutely nobody cares. Cool.
It's just decoration. There ain't no reason for it.
Speaking of things that have absolutely no real reasons to be around.
I love that, in vanilla, there's a bit where, like, Jax and Jackie are, like, searching for where this well with the crown is, and it turns out that it's super visible sitting right across from Goro.
If I were to take the MK11 crypt as a literal map, it's just down the stairs and, like, around the corner. That's it.
Yeah, it's not exactly a maze down here. It's pretty easy to find Goro's fucking throne. And also, the Well of Souls and Crown is not in the crypt.
I really hate this Noob Saibot outfit. It makes my eyes bleed.
It's a little try-hard.
The visible ears. Ooh, Matrix cigar. I like the mild look of disgust on Shang's face as the thing goes past. Gross, filthy habit.
Didn't Noob have the ability to create, like, a whole bunch of shadow clones at once in the vanilla version of this fight scene?
Yes, he did. But also, you've got to show off those black hole abilities too. Those are cool. They keep giving him new powers. It's actually a little bit concerning.
To be fair, he could make black holes since Armageddon.
True.
I think that's the first time that they actually suck people in like that, but...
Amusing, but insufficient.
You haven't seen the last of me.
Wait, you didn't win that fight, you ran... Fuck you! I've played that game! Fujin blows himself up!
You mean you don't have a short memory like the people they expect are playing these games? Hey, speaking of deception references...
Yeah.
This is fucking cool. Stop trying to kill people!
Yeah!
Kronika's promises cannot be trusted, Jackson. Biha, Kano, Shao Kahn, look at the scoundrels she employs.
That's a card you can't play, Fujin.
You know, as nice as this scene is, it kind of points out why nobody having a scene like this in the vanilla version is dumb.
Know what I've suffered. Kronika's my one chance to prevent all that. Not just for me, but for Jackie, for Vera. Shit. You're a god. Ain't no way you get how this feels.
Good scene incoming right here. I love this.
The only
I do really like this scene.
when I left the Sky Temple to live among
Although,
humans,
it kind of bugs me
attached to them
that it highlights the fact that
the execution.
Fujin's characterization in this game is basically what Raiden's always should have been.
Yeah.
Like, in the Midway games, the whole point that they make time and time again is that the reason Raiden is the protector of Earthrealm is because out of all of Earthrealm's gods, he's the one who is closest to humanity.
He loves them the most.
Like, he spends the most time with them, and he's not a hard ass. And then, ever since MK9, Raiden's a distant hard ass.
I do love the fact, though, that we're at a point now where Fujin is portrayed so likably in comparison to Raiden that they actually have him do a Raiden impression. They know that what they turned the guy into is not good. They have to.
I do like that by giving Fujin this moment, this characterization, it is now no longer the minority opinion to like Fujin better than Raiden. Whereas, like, I've liked Fujin better than Raiden since MK4. And that's usually puts me in a very small group of people. But not so much anymore.
Go on.
I think most people now prefer Fujin at this point in time.
Don't know that I would actually go that far, but I have always considered him a really, really great character who absolutely could have used and needed way more exposure. And to 11 and Aftermath's credit, he gets a ton of it, and it's wonderful. It's good to see him here.
So what's about to happen here raises the question, does Nightwolf just have a death wish, or is he uncreative? Why does he always go to this well?
You can't look away for more than 5 minutes without Nightwolf trying to kill himself! Remember when he could focus that shit onto someone else without it hurting him at all?
Yeah, he didn't have to aim at himself!
I'll do what I can.
I question his judgment. Oy. Maybe the Great Spirit just, like, can't see and just goes, fuck it. Nuke the whole thing from orbit.
I don't know, I mean, she's still giving powers to the Revenant, again, I point out. She must not be that bright.
Maybe the Great Spirit just doesn't give a shit these days.
You know, I feel like it's... Nightwolf used to get his shaman powers from all the spirits. There wasn't, like, one spirit in charge. That's not really how Native American mythology works.
It is completely and totally a side effect of them trying to make him a generic Native American archetype, which is really sad.
Yeah, I don't know. And the
We've
other
said
thing
this
is,
before,
like...
you know, look at what the Killer Instinct team did with Thunder, formerly Chief Thunder, where they actually...
Yeah.
They went and they talked.
Yeah, where they actually talked to the Nez Perce tribe, and, like, got reference from them for what one of their warriors would look like. And I feel like NRS looked at that and went, well, now they've embarrassed us, but to try to do that ourselves would be a lot of work. You know, what we could do instead is make up our own tribe, and that way nobody gets offended, because we're not misinterpreting the lore of one that already exists. The Matoka instead of Lakota thing has always felt really lazy to me.
It's your typical Warner Brothers stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Iraq becomes Karak. Can't bring up anywhere that actually exists for fear of pissing somebody somewhere off. It's very disappointing. Apparently. Looks like a large Apple Watch.
About time we had some good news.
Now that we have this, we're in uncharted.
Look at him scheming back there. He's got the fucking steepled Mr. Burns fingers and everything.
I must return to Outworld to aid Kotal Kahn.
Thank you for aiding us. We will rendezvous at the Sea of Blood in 6 hours.
Until our next battle. Sorcerer.
It's nice that she's being so courteous and helpful to everyone.
Yeah, gosh, it's almost like...
And then Sindel went and opened a cursed pocket mirror that put her under Shao Kahn's control again. It was very unfortunate.
I'll go with the Briggs family to brief the special.
Cursed pocket mirror.
Unironically would have been better.
Protect you.
May she protect you.
Would have been. This is the official story from here on out.
You got beat up again, huh?
Must be a Tuesday.
It's almost like the lava costume means nothing.
Why do you do these things to look cool when they have no effect? Pull yourself together.
No. I underestimated Shang Tsung's ingenuity. To escape the void. To return from the future. I will face him again, Mother.
Imagine being an Elder God, and this is how you get used in a story mode.
Imagine thinking that this is a suitable portrayal of someone that helped to create the actual known universe.
And I doubt his new allies realize
God, I hate Cetrion so much, Razor. You have no idea.
You know, here's another not in the game, only talked about on Twitter thing.
They will fight until the last man.
And again, I can't remember whether this one comes from Kittleson or Dom. But one of them said that Shinnok and Cetrion are the only Elder Gods who have a Titan for a parent. Which raises the question, where did the other Elder Gods come from? But more importantly, if those two are the only ones who stand out, and one of them clearly went evil, why would they ever have trusted Cetrion in the first place?
Nah, I don't care. Titans don't make sense anyway.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things just doesn't belong.
You know, I really think that like 20 years down the line, Cetrion and Kronika are going to be filed away into a tiny corner of shame of mistakes that were made, and they're never going to be brought up again. I really do think so.
I mean, it would be nice to believe that, but Dom still works at NRS.
He can't forever. And there's only going to be so many more opportunities for time travel, and I'm sure that even they have to be, to some degree, sick of the whole thing by now. I don't think we're ever seeing Kronika again.
One can hope.
I mean, people liked Blaze and Onaga. Not like we've seen them lately.
Urgent news for Raiden. Please, let us pass.
This may be the sorcerer's trick. The Fire Gardens will not be defiled by his presence.
Oh yeah, bros.
I like how in this version of events, Sub-Zero gets over the fact that it's the wrong version of Scorpion pretty quick.
Well, that just sucks.
Fine, that's fine, I'll do it myself.
You know, it's actually not that often that we get to see someone sitting there frozen like that for a protracted period of time in any cutscene. It doesn't happen enough for my liking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fujin. The storm is...
That actually almost seems sincere.
It feels like Sub-Zero's ice only lasts as long as the plot says it does.
Of course.
Doesn't matter.
We must speak with you, brother.
We, Fujin? Since when are you friends with this filth?
I'm here to save you, Raiden.
My steeple fingertips do not indicate anything whatsoever.
Tragic future. In it, Liu Kang defeated Kronika, but their battle destroyed her crown.
I like how Lu's all, hey, I killed an Elder God. Neat.
Timeline.
Takes it all in stride.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I won? Yep.
Return here still
He's humble. Gotta love it.
Now we can...
I also like a little bit later here when they're telling the story to a bigger group, and when they get to the Liu Kang beats Cetrion part, Kung Lao's just like, of course he did.
I acquired a suitable soundbite for that. Fucking Kung Lao. Fucking Kung Lao. Why? Ugh.
You will not deceive us.
Lord Raiden, we should listen. He may be telling the truth.
There is only one way to find out.
Torture!
Now, Shang Tsung, the truth.
That's how someone who loves mortals acts.
Step aside, Liu Kang.
Raiden is a good guy. He's a real kind, gentle soul.
He needs to put that thing in, like, a garbage bag. Throw it into the Nexus.
The realms hang in the balance, and you form this unholy alliance.
I'd play MK Unholy Alliance. Sounds interesting.
You know, that's always been kind of a pet peeve of mine. Unholy Alliance is an actual figure of speech. And it was the name of the Conquest episode where Shang Tsung and Quan Chi teamed up. So when they called the game Deadly Alliance, which is a term they made up, I was all like, really?
I don't know, Deadly Alliance...
What's wrong with the word unholy?
Deadly Alliance has a nice phonetic ring to it. It's nice.
It's about the same. I think unholy sounds a little better.
Ah, Raiden showing some sense. Oh, wait. Yeah!
Surely you jest, Lord Fujin. Not at all, Liu Kang. Raiden's power makes you a fire god.
Of course it does.
Shut the fuck up!
Unfortunately, I cannot transfer my power to Liu Kang yet. First, I must free his Revenant from Quan Chi's curse.
We will face the Revenant.
Wait, what?
Try not to think about it.
About the final battle. We must use every...
What does that even mean? All you did was grab him and merge with him. I do kind of like how Chronica gets her shit pushed in every time there's a fight with her in this version of things.
Freeze like 6 people in place at once, no problem.
She's the boss of the game, but every single time someone fights her in Aftermath, she is completely jobbed out.
You have already been defeated once, Chronica.
Of course, Fujin. How else could you have escaped the void?
If you know this, accept the inevitable. Surrender.
Is that how they escaped the void? Because she was beaten?
It was not your victory, Raiden.
I believe so,
Okay.
because she died, they were released. It was like her who was keeping them trapped there.
Okay, fair enough.
This timeline would no
I can't keep track of this shit anymore.
I see no harm in confirming your suspicion.
Even if you defeat me, what then? Who claims the hourglass? Surely you realize that Shang Tsung will break your alliance.
We are prepared, Chronica.
He prepared himself.
Have you wondered why Shang Tsung knows so much about
Because he did your bidding, gathering souls to fuel it.
Shang Tsung is far too modest. The crown is his design. No one, save me, knows more about its power.
Angry.
Had I told you, we would still be marooned at the beginning of time, bickering among ourselves.
Dude's got a point.
You must decide, Raiden.
It really isn't that important a detail to know that he built the thing.
Yeah,
Me or Shang?
but considering how they mistrust, quite rightfully, every movie makes.
Sure, I'm just saying, it's like, you probably could have assumed that to begin with anyway. Doesn't make a difference.
It's at this point that my counter actually ran out of games. Why even bother trying to confront them when you can just do this?
Yeah, just turn them all to sand right now. What? What? Aren't gods supposed to be completely immune to the freezing? It turns out you just need to do it harder?
Harder, better, faster, stronger, new era.
Now I end your existence.
Their existence? You know what's really great about that crown?
What's that?
Not a single fucking person looks good with it on.
You're right.
I have mentally put that crown on every character in the roster. It is an eyesore.
Well, that's because it fits the Chronica aesthetic, and the Chronica aesthetic is fucking ugly as shit.
Wait, actually, it might look good on Roller Derby Nightwolf.
Yeah,
man, the Roller Derby one.
Yeah, over top of the derby helmet? I don't know. Then it's just a bike helmet with wings on the front.
I want to point out that one of those zombies just copped a feel. Pretty sure.
It's, you know, like the hands coming out of the lounge chair to grab Dana Barrett.
Brother, are you all right?
Yes. But the crown.
Oh no.
Gee, I wonder who picked it up. What a surprise.
The fucking look on his face. Every single moment he's on screen is just gold. All of it.
It's quite nice.
I will instruct you in its way.
What a nice young man.
Kronika came here to retrieve the crown. We forced her to retreat.
We must strike while she is weakened. Let us join the armies, massing at the Sea of Blood. Together we will storm Kronika's Isle and take command of the Hourglass.
Oh god.
With the Isle of Kronika, the fools believe victory is at hand.
Where did she get that gem?
Shao Kahn put it in her drawer. It's cursed. It makes her evil. However, I don't feel like watching any of that. Do you?
No.
Let's go elsewhere. Let's see what's happening
All right.
somewhere else.
I'm good with that.
Remember this guy?
Oh, is there a mech in this game?
Remember that guy?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
We need your help. Can you come here?
I can't. I'm buying clothes.
Alright, well hurry up and go over here.
I can't find them.
What do you mean you can't find them?
I can't find them. There's only soup.
What do you mean there's only soup?
It means there's only soup.
Well then, get on the soup aisle.
Alright, you don't have to shout at me. There's more soup.
What do you mean there's more soup?
There's just more soup.
Go into the next aisle.
There's still soup.
Where are you right now?
I'm at soup.
What do you mean you're at soup?
I mean I'm at soup.
What store are you in?
I'm at the soup store.
Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?
Fuck you.
Meanwhile, Sindel, under the curse of a pocket mirror or some shit, unwillingly set Shao Kahn free of his imprisonment in the dungeons of Outworld. And now, back to presenting safe, less disturbing content.
It was good. I like what you did there.
Thank you, I'm very glad you liked it. Took me a month to put that together.
Well, it was worth it.
Shao Kahn and Sindel have unwittingly given us back the advantage. Their army will battle Razor for the possession of my crown. We kill them both.
Emotionally, I feel much better than I would have.
I have our best interests at heart. Yours, mine, and those of our very sensitive audience. I wouldn't have such horrific content or carnage in my new era. It just wouldn't be morally right, Razor.
I hope they're as thankful as I am, because that was well worth it.
Might upload it as a standalone, see how it goes over. You know what's great about this entire scene?
What's that?
You ever notice how Sonya just has absolutely no lines at all?
Right, no, this was after fucking...
Yeah,
What's her face went home.
Ronda Rousey. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that they just couldn't get her or they didn't want to get her back?
Cast off in 5. Where are
I know what the answer would be if it was me.
Fair enough. But I really wonder what happened there. Did the backlash get to them that much, or was she just unavailable?
Well, even though Aftermath was written with story mode. Clearly it was not recorded with story mode. It's possible that by the time they got around to the Aftermath recording sessions, Rousey's fame dropped off pretty significantly once she started wrestling for the WWE because she was pretty much trash at it. And also really ungrateful and talked shit about wrestling fans on Twitter and just really kind of put herself in the doghouse.
Yeah, I remember overhearing that she'd said some pretty unsavory shit. I'm not gonna get too far into it, but I think it's safe to say her 15 minutes were pretty much up.
Yeah, that was a short-sighted bit of stunt casting there.
We doing this by gender, or is that sexist?
Just sip it and try not to die.
He's still a delight. You gotta love Johnny. NRS era Johnny is great.
Make us, you authoritarian asshole.
Now, do we see both versions of the fights here, or
Fuck no. You think we're sitting through that garbage? No. All fights here will default to the Shao Kahn one, because that's as good as it gets. Sindel's path will be different.
Now you understand true power.
Like so. Deep inside, Sindel imagined a world where her actions were, for once, her own.
You are now a fully knighted Udinian soldier, Shujin.
Nice.
And as such, I have a task for you.
What task would that be, Your Highness?
Shao Kahn seeks a powerful item, one that has been kept hidden in Udinia since before our recorded history. It must never fall into the hands of the Emperor of Outworld. Take this Kamidogu and return it to the Elder Gods. They will know what to do with it.
I will take it to them immediately. What will you do now, Your Highness?
Kitana and I will continue the
This really
fight
was
to
the
free
best
Udinia from
timeline.
the tyranny of Shao Kahn. The tyranny of Shao Kahn.
The tyranny of Shao Kahn.
The tyranny of Shao Kahn. The tyranny of Shao Kahn.
Zoom and enhance.
Nope.
Why waste tears on weaklings?
Those women are braver and stronger than 50 of you put together. Okay, bozos. No
Batman
jokes,
89
no
reference in
gimmicks,
5,
just combat.
4.
You wanna get nuts? Oh, let's get nuts.
Twice you fought in the tournament, and twice you failed. Why Raiden thought you a contender baffles me. Was that your
MK2 win quote.
Oh, he said the thing. Say the line, Bart. Is it weird that I kind of enjoy watching these Special Forces soldiers be thrown on these pyres?
Not even a little. This is a natural human reaction to the Special Forces.
Raiden and Fujin have gone ahead to storm the Isle.
I just want to point out that legitimately the last we see of the Cage family in the Mortal Kombat 9 through 11 timeline is they're being taken to Outworld by the villains to become sex slaves?
It's everything Johnny ever wanted?
It's an interesting choice.
Is that the Special Forces?
No. Elder gods, damn you, mother.
Oh, time for another piss break.
Kill yourself! I'm sorry, that was uncharacteristically hostile. I mean, it's a pretty scene set, I'm gonna give it that.
It's an attempt to be, like, artsy and with the cinematography, I get it.
Geras is down there. Somewhere. Maybe.
Theoretically.
I can't even keep track anymore.
So if Geras is, like, locked in no matter what change happens to the timeline, then when Fujin and them were sent to the arena, shouldn't Geras have already been in the Sea of Blood and not shown up anywhere?
There's some inconsistency as to how the rules of this timeline work.
Now this rather annoys me.
Kung Lao? Yeah, constantly.
First, that he can't just teleport the hat back, and second, that he hurt his hand catching it.
I can't believe he said epic failure.
I hope you have more than that for the heir of the great Kung Lao.
Shut the fuck up!
Every time he talks. That's all there is to it.
It's a pity the Time Merger disrupted the tournament. I was about to snap your neck.
Why? Because you were afraid to face me head-on?
I fear nothing.
What an awkward pause.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace to your line. Now, snapping your neck would be too easy for you. Tell me, did your masters teach you to swim?
Nobody even wants you here.
And that's it. That's the last we see of Kung Lao. He's done.
That is the last you see of Kung Lao. Now, the man can teleport. Forget about that.
To be fair, teleportation can be difficult when you're going warble, glarble, glarble, there is blood in my lungs. And then he drowned and nobody cared.
I guess.
Which does raise the question. Kung Lao's drowning now, right? Oh wait, hang on.
Finish him!
So yeah, because the living versions are their past selves, whatever damage you do to them hurts the Revenants. So shouldn't Revenant Kung Lao be drowning perpetually or falling over dead because he drowned or something?
Let's go ahead and look at the northwest corner of
Yeah, like when Liu Kang gets his leg broken, the Revenant's leg breaks, even though over 20 years the broken leg would heal?
I don't understand how it works.
Like I don't understand how the minor injuries, like the same thing happened with Kano in Vanilla. He got punched in the kidney, and his future self felt his kidney hurt. But that would heal. It's not a permanent injury.
She had a husband and a kingdom, and you took them away.
Nice.
I just... It's anything. Literally anything to keep from watching as much of this as I can.
I'm right there with you, buddy. And there's the Doc Octopus shot that Smokeman is such a fan of.
The only thing of note that happens on this entire boat scene.
She can fly! What is she doing?
I don't know.
That is madness. Fight.
It is genius, you pathetic.
He said the thing again.
Why would Liu Kang have lost this fight?
I don't know.
This is the weakest version of Shao Kahn in any game. Why would Liu Kang ever lose that fight?
No reason for it. None. Just drama. God, this hurts my soul to witness.
This is...
Good thing Sindel's not doing any of this voluntarily.
A traitor to Outworld. She conspired with Raiden to lead you astray.
Stealthy cut.
But we will grant clemency now and riches
Been doing a few of those.
to all who renounce Kitana and fight under our command.
Boy, Outworlders are sure fickle.
It's my experience that background NPCs in Mortal Kombat are there to cheer, or yell, or charge into battle. Not much else.
Blah blah strongest. Blah blah conquer.
You could go out there and, like, recite the Declaration of Independence in a really loud voice. I'll get behind you.
USA. USA.
That's all it is.
USA.
I like how Shang walks everywhere with his hands folded behind his back all casual. Everyone else just has their strut going on, and he's like, whatever happens here, I'm good.
They are unaware of our army's full strength.
We will unleash hell.
Why didn't Liu Kang attack them on the boats in this version of history? Like he did in the vanilla?
Who knows?
What the fuck was different?
Stop thinking about it, Razor. It's a mistake. I don't look at an MC Escher painting and try to figure out how to navigate that shit.
You know, you're gonna regret that. One day, you're gonna find yourself in one of those rooms.
It's not because the story's particularly complex or anything. I just have better things to do with my time. That's all there really is to it.
I need but a moment. Lead the charge.
Wonder if it's like a splitting headache, dehydration headache, a migraine. Like the camera's shaking all over this place. So many G.I. Joes are strutting around.
Why did Jackson Jackie take a different boat from Johnny, Sonya, and Cassie?
No clue, but ain't they lucky they did. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
It's almost as if situations were artificially engineered so that no matter what happens, Jackie Briggs would still get screen time. Because she's a black woman, and it's the 2020s.
It's a case of well-intentioned but clumsy execution. You try and force people to like something, like a new round of protagonists, and they're just not gonna. They'll feel forced, and then they'll be disliked.
My problem with her, like, I don't like hate her. I find her aggressively bland.
It comes from making her just Jax 2.0. Same way Cassie was Johnny and Sonya 2.0. And they go, here, enjoy this.
Yeah, you can't force people to like something. They either do or they don't.
It's just clumsy.
Just try to make it feel fucking natural.
That's a good line.
Yeah, and he said it the first time, too. Now, here's a question. While he's helpless on the ground, why doesn't Raiden do the thing that merges them? Because that would save alive Liu Kang from what's happening to him right now.
He seems to be stunned by the sudden compound fracture out of nowhere.
I'm just saying, he's right there and he can't fight. Grab him by the head and do the merger. Do it now. What are you fucking waiting for?
Wonder how Kotal Kahn's doing.
What is the message here? Are the developers deliberately telling us that they don't like Kotal?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
Is this like a deliberate attempt to fucking bury him, or?
Where there is smoke, delete this.
That's what they feel.
Because it feels like a deliberate attempt to bury him. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't feel like it happened because the plot needed it to happen. It feels a little gratuitous.
Oh yeah, seriously, it's just a super shock value move. And they do like their shock factor deaths.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel shocking. It feels almost inevitable at this point because the whole game...
Because they had nothing to do with him?
Like, they paralyzed him in vanilla. And fucking had him go like, yes, I'm a bad king. Kitana would be better than me.
Love how one brief moment of selflessness is enough to make Fujin go, I'm not questioning any of this. Aru?
Who could have seen that coming?
I love that they did it. Shang's the best. He really is. Can't say they didn't put his morphin to good use here. Because they did.
That's true, that's true. He did the thing.
He did the thing. People spending the entire game going, don't trust him. And they turn their back for a split second. This is what they get.
This has always been your endgame, hasn't it? From the moment you were trapped in the void.
Kronika was wise to banish me. With this crown, I am her equal.
Why is that? It's just a lot of souls, right?
It has time control powers.
I guess.
He probably put a little bit of himself into it, extra compatible with it. And he did just blink out of existence when Raiden charged him.
That's true.
Did he have dreadlocks before?
I don't think so.
That's a choice.
It is a choice.
I guess the helmet does complement this outfit. In that kind of, I still wouldn't wear any of this if you paid me kind of way.
Yeah, it looks less bad with that Shang outfit than it does on anyone else.
The outfit was probably designed after the crown.
Oh yeah.
All the souls. Every one of them.
Okay, but if you saw it coming, what plan did you prepare to defeat him with? What do you got? Because it feels like you're just gonna kung fu fight him the way you normally would.
Ain't nothing wrong with some kung fu fighting. That's always a good plan. They do have something in store.
I mean, Liu Kang had a plan from the beginning.
Maybe it's Raiden just trying to claim a little bit of credit for himself to seem less incompetent.
The thing is, Liu Kang's plan is let all of my friends suffer horribly because when I fix the timeline, none of them will remember it happened anyway.
Keep them alive. We can siphon their powers for eternity.
It's definitely a good reason not to kill them.
Yeah. Although, they don't do anything with the fact that they don't kill them, except for a little... They do a bit in the ending where Shang wins. But that could have been any two characters.
Shang Tsung has breached our defenses.
Victory is still at hand. We will put down Shang Tsung's defiance, but you will require more assistance.
Now, kill yourself.
In the vanilla version, she powered them up before she had Cetrion kill herself.
Is it just an excuse to get rid of Cetrion, maybe?
I think it's an excuse to get rid of Cetrion.
Maybe they dislike her as much as we do. I'd like to think so.
I fucking hope so. So for the record, I've said this in other podcasts, but the answer to the question of, like, if Elder Gods are supposed to be unkillable, then how did Cetrion kill them in Vanilla 11 story mode? Cetrion didn't. Cetrion just tells Raiden that it happened because she watched it happen, because Chronica killed them by stealing their souls, just like she did to Cetrion there. Which makes sense, because it's stealing someone's soul. They're technically still alive in soul form. So it does kind of skirt the Elder Gods can't be killed rule.
Shang Tsung, pretender to my role. Your strategy has been novel, but in the end, you will not prevail.
I applaud the use of the word novel in a sentence. It's always nice to hear.
I mean, it's an appropriate word choice. The whole point is that, like, Cetrion has rebooted the timeline like dozens and dozens of times, and she knows every single strategy they will try. But the reason she gets beat in this game is because they find strategies that they haven't tried before. like Raiden merging his powers with Liu, or Chronica dying and stuff happening afterward.
And here we have Sindel killing multiple people again, which seems to be a theme.
Well, I mean, they're already dead, so...
There's that good use of the morphing ability again.
I like that he does Lao's hat taunt. It's like, Kung Lao does that every 10 minutes. I wonder if it... Yep, it does feel cool.
I mean, getting into the jackass role does come naturally for him.
How easily you are felled, Chronica. Once your power's mine, I will rule.
Nope.
Gee, I wonder...
Oh, this is such a treat. I do love every moment of this. Watching Shang curb stomp everyone is a thing of beauty.
For all the shit that we would have had to put up with in the unedited version of this, it really did make the moment where he just walks up behind him and shoots him in the back more satisfying.
It's so marvelous. Yeah, she's gonna be hating all of this, what she's doing right now. Something fierce. Shame she can't talk.
It is a shame. It's terrible. Imagine what insights we're missing out on because Sindel can't talk.
Laryngitis. Sure does suck. As the Queen of Edenia breathed her last, her spirit found peace knowing it was better to die than to have her personality rewritten by a megalomaniac. Like Shao Kahn.
F in chat. Actually, no. Press S to spit. I would prefer she be wiped from history. Can we pick that one?
I'd buy that for $1 in my new era. Like I said, 20 years from now, that probably will be the new era.
It's just the old era, which was better than the current one.
I would have allowed you to wield great influence. Surely, Service is better than death.
I do not serve. I am a titan.
Nobody gives a shit.
You were Chronica.
Bless you, Carrie Tagawa Jesus.
Imagine thinking you were the boss of this game.
This is right.
And
This
now,
is
back
so
to Mortal
right.
Kombat.
Oh god, it's finally gone. Apple Frieza is
It's
dead.
been so long, but we're finally back to Mortal Kombat. Where Mortal Kombat characters fight each other, and the story is about them.
Seeing these two back together brings me back to the happy place.
Liu Kang. I thought your duties required you stayed behind.
A lie. Something you know.
I do appreciate the fuck out of this scene.
I see now.
Because it really does make them seem like they can't stand each other. It's one of the first bits of, like, acknowledgement to this kind of enmity between the two of them that we very, very rarely get a chance to experience outside of the MK95 movie.
Yeah.
This spite chemistry is wonderful.
They are not gone.
It's really, it only works if you have the good voice actors, you know?
Your new era. You underestimate my prowess, chosen one. I have the crown. I have absorbed Chronica's power. You may have attained godhood, but I am the keeper of time. You are no match for me.
Chronica said much the same, Shang Tsung.
You know, I've never noticed all the constant glittering of sand in the air around them before, but considering that I just watched the new Dune movie like 2 or 3 days ago, now all I can think of is that they're like breathing in spice.
The sands of time must flow. Who is the true Kwisatz Haderach of combat?
He who controls the sand controls the universe.
Literally.
Make no mistake, Shang Tsung.
So yes, Brusk did give us both endings. Thank you very much, Brusk. Appreciate it. And we get lose first.
Now, worth pointing out once again, after he defeats Shang here, he has the hourglass and all the power, but he's in the present day, so he doesn't have to rewind to prehistory.
Twisted by your evil.
He's making a better world where none of this crap ever happens. I mean, really, who cares?
Kitana might care.
Yeah, the vanilla ending was ultimately still a bit more satisfying in that regard.
Although it is pretty cool that we get to see Great Kung Lao.
It is. Looking a bit less buff than usual. I don't know how I feel about him having a razor hat, like he seems to be making.
He's not making a razor hat. He's polishing. He's polishing that
Jade
statuette.
I'd
That,
almost forgotten.
yeah, it's the same one that Jin steals in X.
That's it. I'm thinking of the Kung Lao hatted alternate gameplay outfit. Sorry. This is cool.
The temple looks really nice here.
It does. Wonder who these statues are of.
I don't know, Shaolin Masters. Yeah, see? Jade statue.
Mm-hmm. It is time for you to get ripped. I am Fire God Liu Kang, and I'm here to buff you up.
My friend, Swole is the goal and size is the prize.
I am Lord Liu Kang, God of thunder and fire.
God of...
The voice is good. I think it really fits him.
Forgive my disrespect, my lord.
Enough, Kung Lao. You are humble, not like the Kung Lao I knew.
Jesus.
The Kung Lao you knew?
A story for another time. I have chosen you as my champion, Kung Lao. We have work to do. You must be prepared.
I think Great Kung Lao is slightly taller than him.
For what?
His pecs do seem somewhat spectacular. There it is.
Yeah.
Round 2.
Long have I had visions of this moment. I will savor your death for eternity.
You are mad, Shang Tsung. Your visions are nothing. Delusions of an addled mind.
Gee, where have I heard those lines of dialogue before?
They do seem a bit familiar, don't they?
Breathe deeply in your final moments, chosen one. For
You can't,
now
you're
your
choking.
existence stands in shame. All
And he don't know the safe
that was
word.
Once yours is mine. Forever.
Along with, you know, Soul. But he don't need to explain that. My god, I'm full of stars.
I wonder what his perfect universe looks like.
I think that they call this the Big Sungus.
Yes. Big Sungus.
My lord, your will is done.
Outworld, Earthrealm, the Netherrealm. All are conquered.
Per your command.
The making him enormous was certainly a choice.
Soon yield to your influence.
Like
It's so silly, but I love it.
Like, it doesn't look this silly when it's the Elder Gods that are huge, because they're, like, holograms. You don't imagine they're actually that big.
Nope. Larger than life and twice as ugly.
So, like, could Shinnok have all this time been walking around 50 feet tall?
Like, does this imply that Shinnok has less of an ego than fucking Shang Tsung?
I feel like...
I think it does.
I feel like if Shinnok was kaiju-sized, it might have made a difference in their fighting. Maybe he would have won.
Well, that is it, folks. That has been our Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath DLC movie extravaganza commentary.
You know, I have to say, even taking into account that all of the Sindel parts I hated were cut, it was still better than I remember, because I remembered a lot more Nightwolf than there was. And not that I don't like Nightwolf, I'm very meh on him. You know, he's a middle of the road kind of boring character to me.
Oh, I didn't take any Nightwolf out of this whatsoever. Not at all.
Right, no, I just mistakenly remembered there being more Nightwolf and less Fujin and Shang, proportionally to each other than there actually is. So it is better than I remember. I still would have preferred if Kitana was present in the good ending.
But she's on a boat somewhere. Half-conscious.
If there's still a need to choose Great Kung Lao to be a champion to fight in Mortal Kombat, doesn't that imply that Liu Kang didn't change anything about history in terms of Shao Kahn ruling Outworld and conquering other realms when he could have.
It's the new era, Razor. Anything can happen. New era.
I'm just saying, if Edenia isn't free in his new era, he done fucked up.
I mean, just because you're omnipotent doesn't necessarily mean you can go in and change the course of the realms at will and kill every tyrant. I tend to assume that he's still got to watch out for the one being two, you know? Let it be. It's fine.
I just think the guy could have saved his girlfriend, that's all.
Alright. We'll be back with your irregularly scheduled character retrospectives next time. Thank you all for allowing us this little indulgence.
There have been people waiting for this, so...
Yeah.
We had to get it over with at some point in time. We've been putting it off because of the Sindel.
Well, now I've seen to that, and you know what? You're absolutely right. It was pretty fun, really. It's just that the Sindel stuff cuts so very, very deep.
I'm not sure which bothers me more, the change to her backstory or just the scene in general where Liu Kang loses to Shao Kahn and is tortured in front of Kitana. Because that just feels gratuitous and tasteless.
I don't remember any of those things, Razor, because I shifted the sands of time. This is my new era.
That's fair. That's fair.
Cursed pocket mirror, laryngitis. All of these things are real.
It certainly should be.
Alright, folks. That is it for the night. Have yourselves a good one, and we'll see you back here real soon.
Yeah, see you later, nerds.
New era.